Good morning, Gigi. Gigi, thank you so much for all of those suggestions that you sent me. That was so helpful. I know that is going to expire, so I screenshotted all of those so that I can contact all of them individually. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Ma'am, you are faster than Amazon. Something for you is coming to... Whoa, that's exciting. To anyone who is on my Patreon who's been wondering why they haven't got their DM yet, I've just been going through them in order and I have about 80 to go, which is not that much in the grand scheme of things, right? 80 more. We'll finish them today. Everyone will get their slime. It's going to be great. Very, very, Yeah, 80 left. That's it. That's so not that bad, all things considered. I know it sounds like it's bad, but considering how many of are done and considering that I was packing books at the same time, it's really not that bad.
What's not bad?
How many orders I have left to do today?
80.
About 80.
That's not bad.
No.
Not as well.
How many did you have total? You know what? I would have to check again, Kristen, because it's not like when we do it on the website where there's a count for me, so I'm not 100% sure. But I had about 200 DMs at the start of the restock, if that helps. I don't know if it does, but it could. I have training today, and my trainer sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Weird.
That's funny. And also, we were with my aunt and uncle on Saturday, and my aunt was telling a story about an insurance claim, and every time she's much like me. I come from a family of wild women, and she was telling the story in voices. I totally am, Gigi. Thank you so much. And for some reason, her insurance claimant person, or whatever you want to call it, sounded like Kermit. So part of the way through the story, my cousin's husband asked a question, and then I followed the question up with, well, why is your insurance guy Kermit the Frog? That's what it sounded like.
Sure.
It did. It sounded like Kermit. Every time he was like, well, then why? I can't do Kermit because I didn't watch Sesame Street. But, it sounded like Kermit.
It did.
Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And the interesting part is, at one point, the insurance person changed to a different insurance person.
But they both sounded like Kermit.
And they both were still Kermit.
Yeah, weird.
So
all insurance...
Like, I thought the first one actually did something like Kermit, and then
no.
when she was switching, I was like, oh, let's hear the new voice.
Yes, no.
I was like, oh, okay.
All insurance guys are Kermit the Frog, apparently. According to my aunt, anyway. I mean, let's be frank with one another. My aunt is 75 years old, so, maybe she knows more about insurance people than I do. Is this the aunt that's recurring? Yes, that's the one. Yes. And she's still dealing with it. Bank of America.
Oh, she is still doing it?
That's the one you don't want to use. She is still dealing with it, yes. Hey, Naisa. Oh my gosh. I'll learn.
You learn what?
I've been pronouncing this name wrong forever, and they finally just told me Saturday, and now I have to work it out of my brain. Naisa. Naisa. It's gonna take me a minute to figure that one out mentally. I will get there though, and I will work on it. I have 5 days of Kermit the Frog. I'm sorry, I don't want 5 days of Kermit the Frog. I'm not gonna. And she only said, yeah. I finished your book Saturday. You're good. And oh my gosh, yay! Well, tell us what you think, and also if you wouldn't mind, if you could review it on Amazon or Goodreads or anything, that would be super helpful. Is Becca being filtered already? I hope not. Becca, are you being filtered already? Morning, Jen. Morning, Grace. Morning, Kat. Kat, I have a fun video for you later today. I have to edit it, but it is coming for you. I mean, it's for everybody, but it's directed at you because it's in response to a comment you had. Hey, Mary, long time no see. How are the babies? How are Helen and Autumn? You know what's weird?
What?
Mary has one daughter named Helen and one daughter named Autumn, and my mom's name is Helen, and one of my friends' names is Autumn, so it's always weird. Did something go ouch?
I thought you were going to say Mary's a little lamb.
Maybe. Do you have a little lamb? Really, Nikki? Why? I'm on page 75 of The Prince of Oregon. It's so cute. Oh, yay! Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you love it. Here, while we're talking about it, I'll put it on the billboard in case anybody comes in that doesn't know about it. Give me a second. I will take it off before I read the other book. There, I put it there for now. You know, when we get to, no lambs, just chickens, that's funny. When we get to reading the other book, I'll take it down. But in case anyone's new here, I wrote a book, and that's the book that they're talking about. No lambs, just chickens. There are neither lambs nor chickens in my book, now that I think of it.
Oversight.
Yeah, just rabbits. Yeah. There's kind of chickens? What do you mean there's kind of chickens? Oh, yeah, I mean, there's eggs, sure. You have a rabbit too? Oh, okay, well, there's a rabbit in the story. All right, coffee, coffee, coffee. 'Tis the time for that. Duolingo is trying to shame me again, and I won't take it. I have a streak of 808 days on Duolingo. They don't need to shame me. I'm not gonna stop. I just have an order of operations that I do every day in the same order. I get up, I make my coffee, we do book club, then we start making breakfast, then I do Duolingo, then we do Wordle, then we do crossword puzzle. There's an order of operations here, Duo. It is a shame-based app. I do, did they even know you? Exactly, Grace. Grace and I are in a battle on Duolingo right now, it's true. Yeah, we get to have a battle with a friend every week, and this week is Grace, apparently. Grace and I are Duolingo battling. Morning, Amanda.
Are you going to crush her, Conan?
Am I gonna crush you? No, Grace does. Grace, what language are you doing? I don't think I'm gonna crush her. Grace, am I crushing
I
you?
want to hear the wails and lamentations of her.
I didn't even know we were battling. Uh-oh. Oh, no, you should open your app. Totally shame-based on the deal. Yeah, for real. German, and I started Spanish again. Whoa, fancy girl. Grace is my fancy fake little sister. I have a real little sister who is considerably less sciencey than Grace. I also have two older sisters, one who is much sciencey and one who is not.
Wait, what?
I have two older sisters. One of them has no job and the other one's a doctor. So one is sciencey and one is not. I don't know them, but I know that about them. My oldest sister took over my biological father's practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, very sciencey.
Yeah.
That's okay, Grace. You're good at a lot of things.
Let's not do that, basically.
They do not, in fact, have a Disney Speak duo. No, they don't. It's weird. They probably should, though. They probably get a lot of people. What a dream, no job. I know, Victoria, right? I was saying that the other day. I was like, wow, living the dream.
Everything is a trade-off.
I stopped using it after a lot of years because of the changes in... Oh, yeah, that's fair. You're welcome. It's coffee time. I made that song up for you. How do you feel about it? Yeah, you're into it? For you. They don't get the coffee. Only you get the coffee. Nisali. Huh. Naisali. I do not like the Duolingo Lab account, but I do like options that change. Oh, interesting. Duolingo works for me. I know it's not for everyone, but it works for me. Wait, really, Becca? Did I know that? Okay. All right. It wasn't good for conversational French. What is good for conversational French? Like, honestly. Honestly. It's a working return. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Hello. Wow. There's so many. What happened? Where did you all come from? Hi. Who's new? What are you doing here? I wrote a book. I would be remiss if I didn't say that, because who are you all? If you want to buy my book, this is it, or you can get it on the other app, or you can get it on Kindle Unlimited, and it's called The Prince of Oregon. Please buy one. my goal is to sell 1,000 books this year. So since there's 500 of you here, you can get me halfway there. That would be so great. If you want to do that, feel free. I have to pull. It's a rom-com. Thanks for asking, Mia. I love your name because Princess Diaries, but also it's a rom-com, and it's about a tiny town in Oregon that a prince comes to reclaim. So if you're into rom-coms and you like books, you might really like it. It's fun and funny. It's PG-13, so you can read it with your teenage daughter or with your grandma. I need to show the physical copy? Sure, good idea. I should do that. You're a smarty pants. Thanks, Kristen. Wow. Look, he threw one at me. The audacity. He threw the book. This is my book. I wrote it. Yeah. Hello. Please buy my book because you could help me reach my goal of selling 1,000 this year. You're in Oregon? Well, if you're in Oregon, you should definitely buy it. Also, you're my neighbor? Oh, hello, neighbor. If you are in, they're probably kidding. If you're in Oregon, I would love to get this into bookstores in Oregon because that would be really funny. So, please, if you like it, this is my book. This one cannot be sent to anyone because they printed it accidentally without a cover page. So I have to go and get my money back for this copy because there's no cover page. I went to sign it last night for someone and I was like, wah, wah, none for you. So we'll have to get this one fixed. But everything else, I wonder if there's any other issues in this one.
I looked through it, I couldn't find them.
It seems okay other than the cover page missing.
I mean, who knows, right? It's a lot of pages.
Yeah, it's a lot of pages. It is 344 pages, or at least it was. Let's see if this misprinted one is 344 pages. This one was made in Middletown, Delaware.
The other ones that were...
No, this is only 340 pages. Something is definitely wrong.
Oh, geez.
This is missing 4 pages of the book.
That's bad.
That is not great. So, well, I'm not sending this copy to anyone because it could be very confusing. Yeah, this is Wall Sasha's copy. That's right. I'm going to email them and be like, hey guys, what's going on here? Why are we missing so many pages? I imagine that it would be confusing. Thank you, Anya. I imagine it would be confusing if you're missing. So, thank you. So if you have the book now, I know a lot of people in this room ordered the book already. Well, I guess not a lot of people because there's way more of you than there usually are for book club. But hello, there are Easter eggs on the cover that Secret Fiance drew. So when you get yours, feel free to look for your Easter eggs. I'm not going to say what they are until more people have their copies and have a chance to look, but there are 1, 2, 3, 5?
7? No, wait.
No, I think there's 3 Easter eggs that I can see. Did you add more? Oh, 4. There's 4 Easter eggs on it that have to do with the either the story or something funny in, yada yada. So anyway, that's kind of cool, right? Fun, exciting, enjoyable. It takes place in Astoria, Oregon. If you don't know where that is, that's probably for the best. But I am going to email all the tiny stores in Astoria, Oregon and see if they'll carry it because it takes place there. Yesterday, I emailed a little boutique that's on this pier. And I was like, hi, I used to work on this pier and I wrote a book that takes place on this pier. Please carry my book in your store. Yes, it is the same town that The Goonies takes place in. That is true. Thanks for the new follow, Bobby. Welcome to book club. Yeah, it is cool. Hopefully that boutique will consider carrying it. It's not a bookstore, so it's a long shot a little bit, but it does take place there, so maybe we could work something out. She sells like crafts and cute little things. Yeah, Seaside and Long Beach. Yeah, I should do that, Jen. How did you know about that? How do you know about those places, Jen? You're from Oregon? What part of Oregon? Near Astoria? You're in Vancouver, that's right. Oh, so you're like literally spitting distance from Astoria. You can see Vancouver from Astoria pretty much. Well, not literally, but like real close.
It's another state in between.
Oh, you can see Washington from Astoria. There's a bridge between them. So you can literally stand at one end. They do a 5K across the bridge all the time. It's very close.
Astoria, Washington, Vancouver.
Vancouver, Washington.
Oh.
Not Vancouver, Canada.
Gotcha.
There's a Vancouver in Washington. Yeah, the bridge is crazy. Yeah. No. There's 2 Vancouvers. She's not in Canada. I know that. Jen's in America. So yeah, Vancouver, Washington is very close to Astoria. But yes, Astoria is the northernmost part of Oregon, so you can see Washington from it. I had the same thought as you. I had to maximize to see the same. Oh yeah. It's there are 2 Vancouvers. Jen lives in the one that's in America. There is also one in Canada, but neither of them are in this book. It's just in Astoria, Oregon. However, there are other places in this book, just none of them are in Washington or Oregon. There's a fictional place in this book as well. My grandma used to say within spitting distance for so many things. Yeah, I'm an old lady at heart, so it is what it is. So anyway, welcome to all the people. Thanks for checking out my book. I hope that you like it. Please consider it. Support indie authors. Hey, Ray. So that is that. And I will leave that up for a few more minutes while there's still people in here, even though we're going to read, and then I will take it down so I don't get, for anyone who's new here and doesn't know why I have to take the link down in a minute, it's because TikTok thinks that I am misadvertising my own book somehow, which I find wild. I think anything I say is probably going to be the most correct since it came from my brain cells, but who's to say?
Do you want to smoothie dance?
Mm-hmm. Let's smoothie dance, everybody! Woo! I mean, I could read from my book. I could read like one random page. Should I read one random page? Pick a page, babe. From this book that may not have all the correct pages. Who's to say? 45. Page 45. Let's hope there's no spoilers on page 45.
You should pick a page. That's fun.
Yeah. Page.
Right?
Well, I'm going to start on the previous page because it's the middle of a sentence on page 45. So I'm going to start with 44. Oh, God, I heard Sarah Beth gasp. I was under the counter pulling at wires, trying to make our printer actually, print. Shocker. I know. What? Ouch! I hit my head trying to look up and see what she was gasping at. Emma! She kicked me from where she was sitting. The prince is coming. I rolled my eyes. Sarah Beth O'Connor, I told you, he's not a real prince. He's just some dude in a fancy pants suit who somehow managed to dupe the whole town into... Ouch! She kicked me again, much harder this time. Hello, Your Majesty. Welcome to Read Between the Vines. I crept up to a standing position slowly, knowing that if she was kicking me that hard and speaking that loudly, I was bound to find Mikey and Prince Edward at the counter, right there within earshot. Crap. Afternoon. Edward tilted his head into a half-nod, bow sort of thing at Sarah Beth. Mikey looked astonished by what he'd overheard. Emma, he furrowed his brow and motioned with his head for me to join him at the side of the bar counter. Could I speak with you a moment? Why did it sound like I was a teenager caught smoking in the school bathroom when in reality I am a grown woman with a thriving business of her own. A whole adult who doesn't need to answer to anyone, let alone some elderly Gen X dude who has been conned by some bamboozler in a blazer. Regardless, I stepped to the area where Mikey had, and how can I help you today, Mikey? Did you and Princey Pooh come for a drink or a book? Maybe both? The sarcasm was dripping, and he seemed less than amused by my tone. Emma? What? Mikey, let's get real for a second. What are you even doing with this guy? Have you gone to work at all in the last few days, or are you playing hooky on the back of some empty promises from the king? I jerked my head in Edward's direction. He's the prince, Emma, not the king. I rolled my eyes. You know what I meant. And how do you know he'll even be a good leader? What if he's a fascist monster that ruins our lives? He owns Astoria, he said matter-of-factly, ignoring my second question. I crossed my arms. He does not own Astoria. We're not even sure he's a real prince, Mikey. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's not one. Where's his bodyguard? Well, right now, that's me. And of course he's a prince. Just look at him. He jerked his thumb in the direction of where Edward was leaning on the counter towards Sarah Beth, suave as ever, still in a suit. Did he even own anything else? What makes you so sure he owns our town, Mikey Donnelly? Well, he's got the deed, Mikey said matter-of-factly. Okay, wait, this was new. I perked up. He's got the deed to Astoria? I read it myself. You read it. I tilted my head. I skimmed it. With a deep breath, I continued. You skimmed it. Okay, Mikey burst out a little louder than he'd been speaking up to that point. Okay, I took his word for it, but the story checks out. That's a pretty funny scene.
Yeah, that's a good
That
scene.
was a good scene. You found a good one. That was pretty funny.
I like that.
I like that scene a lot. The rest of that scene is actually equally as funny. That's the scene where she has outbreaks that sound much like you. I took some of the quotes for Emma in that scene directly from Secret Fiance's mouth. If you think that those were made up from my head, they were not. Lord, I was half confused that Connor was getting kicked and I was, oh no, Tiffany. I was just reading a random page that Secret Fiance picked so that people who were new here could get a feel for my writing style. Not yet, Lori, but it is on my list of things to do. So, Lori, and I'll tell this to not only Lori, but anyone who doesn't know, I have an order that I have to do things. And so I don't let myself do fun things like opening new packages and stuff until I finish all of my work. So after I get all my orders mailed out, then I'm allowed to do like all the fun things like have new stuff and like whatever like that. So I don't let myself fall into the trap of like, oh, I'm gonna go and play until I have completely finished, and I have about 80 more orders to go. So once I've finished those 80 orders, then I will go into the next phase of things that I'm allowed to do. Yeah, I'm a mean boss, but it's what keeps my brain working properly. I have done that with my slime orders. Yeah, exactly. Like if I allow myself to go off track, I have three packages that need to be opened, but they're all like fun things like that. And if I go there, then I'll be like, oh, I want to go through these and come up with new slimes for them and stuff like that. And then my brain will go completely off track. But what I need it to do is I need it to focus and finish the orders first. And then I can go play and make new slimes. But it will be on camera when I open those boxes because they are fun. They are fun and exciting. It's the only way that I can get things done. Yeah, don't worry, Lori. It's not personal. It's just, it's the only way that, because like, if you imagine if you're working at like a regular job where you have like deadlines and things like that, I don't have a boss breathing down my neck, so I have to create my own boss breathing down my neck. Whatever you ignore often on the screen makes you sound funky. It's people trying to join the live. It's dumb, and I don't like it.
What's wrong?
Whenever someone tries to join the live, it like makes my live go like weird, and it's dumb. All right, so we are going to remove the book and start reading. I don't want to get dinged. You finished Land of Story 6 yesterday and you're not ready. Oh no, I'm not ready. Oh, I didn't think I was ready. I never thought I was ready. All right, so last time I'm gonna say it, my book is called The Prince of Oregon. If you would consider purchasing it, you'll help me reach my goal of selling 1,000 books this year, which for an indie author is pretty great. So anyway, thank you so much. And now we are going to read Land of Stories, book 6. We are on chapter 6, oddly enough. Prisoners of the Mirror. Froggy frantically searched every mirror in the Northern Palace for someone who could help him contact Alex and Connor. He figured the twins were most likely hiding with the royal families, so if he found a person who knew where they were hiding, then he could send a message and warn them about the literary army's plans to invade the other world. The more he searched, the more doubtful his mission became. Each room in the palace was either empty or occupied by the Queen of Hearts card soldiers, the Wicked Witch's flying monkeys, or one of Captain Hook's pirates. Occasionally, Froggy would spot a servant in the palace, but they were never far from the despicable emperors or their loathsome henchmen. When the servants weren't forced to serve, they were locked away in the dungeon where there were no mirrors for Froggy to communicate through. Even if they could find someone willing to help, it was very unlikely that they'd know how to reach the twins. Still, he continued his exhausting pursuit regardless of its improbability. Soon he learned that it wasn't as impossible as he thought. Why did they let it do that? And there's no way to just like turn those off permanently. I've tried. You can only turn it off for like part of the live. It's dumb. Soon he learned that help wasn't as impossible as he thought. He was searching the wrong side of the mirrors. Hello? A soft voice made Froggy jump. He darted his eyes back and forth between the palace mirrors as he searched for the source, but he couldn't find where the voice was coming from. I'm not in the palace, silly. It laughed. I'm right behind you. Froggy looked over his shoulder and jumped when he discovered that he wasn't alone in the mirror. Walking toward him out of the darkness was a young girl.
She had long raven hair and pale white skin and didn't look a day over 8 years old. Froggy had become so used to isolation that it took him a moment to realize the girl wasn't a hallucination. Oh my word, he said in disbelief. You're a person. The little girl giggled. Of course I'm a person. What else would I be? Well, forgive me for being overwhelmed, Froggy apologized. I'm just so relieved to see someone else. I didn't realize there were others trapped in mirrors. Oh, there are hundreds of people trapped in mirrors, she said. I find dozens of them each day. Froggy searched the darkness around him, but didn't find a single soul besides the young girl. But where are they? He asked. I've been in this world for weeks and I haven't seen anyone but you. The little girl smiled at Froggy like he was an amusing cartoon. You don't have to be trapped inside a mirror to be trapped in the mirror, she said. Think about all the people who stare at their reflection and dislike what they see. Think about all the people who base their happiness solely on what they look like. Think about all the people who don't enjoy life because they don't enjoy their appearance. If you ask me, mirrors imprison us all. Froggy went silent for a few moments. He hadn't expected such insight to come from someone so young. Oh, well, when you put it that way, I suppose this is the second time I've been trapped in the mirror, he said. Oh, when was the first? She asked. Oh, a long time ago when I was cursed to look like a frog, he explained. I was so ashamed of how I looked. I spent years hiding from the rest of the world, and I let my fear of what others might think of me dictate my whole life. Fortunately, I overcame my fear before it was too late. Oh, what changed your mind? I found the greatest love and friendship that my life could have while I felt the ugliest, he said with a smile. If that doesn't prove how little appearances matter, I don't know what else would. The little girl sighed and shook her head. Oh, that's lucky, she said. It takes most people their whole lives to learn that lesson. Every day I watch more and more people stare at themselves with such deep sadness in their eyes. I try to give them compliments and tell them it's what's inside that counts. But they're always so frightened when they see a little girl appear that they don't listen to a word I say. Hey, John. The little girl was one of the most peculiar children that Froggy had ever met. She spoke so elegantly and moved around the mirror so freely that it made him question whether she was really a little girl at all. What's your name? He asked. The little girl thought about it, but nothing seemed to come to mind. I don't remember, she said. I'm sure I had one once. I just can't recall what it was. That doesn't surprise me, Froggy said. Memory loss is a side effect of living in this dimension. The longer we stay in it, the more we fade into nothing but reflections. How long have you been trapped? The little girl thought even harder, but couldn't find the answer. I don't remember that either, she said with a laugh. Doesn't that concern you? Oh, it did once, but I forgot why, she asked. Actually, I find forgetfulness very pleasant. Memory is a nice thing for people with good memories, but amnesia can be quite comforting to others. You must have lived a rather tragic life to believe that, Froggy said. I suppose I did, she said, pondering. I miss having dreams, but at least I don't have nightmares anymore. But perhaps you'll enjoy forgetting too? The little girl's bizarre outlook made Froggy even more anxious. He didn't know how much longer he would have his own memory, and she was proof it was only a matter of time before his mind was wiped clean. I wish forgetfulness was all I was concerned about, he said. I'm in desperate need to find someone who can give my friends a warning. Their home is about to be invaded by a terrible army, and I need to contact them before it's too late. Have you ever communicated? It just gave me a violation, but I took the thing down. How can I get a violation when I don't even have anything up? It said be sure that the shop products are correct, but there isn't one. Can you guys still see the shop product? I thought I took it down. But it's not even up. It's down. Oh my God. That's wild. They have a problem. How can you be in violation for not advertising something properly when you're not even advertising anything? It is bad code, AC. You should yell at them on my behalf because you know stuff like that. So lame. I don't have any slime in stock right now, but hopefully I will again soon. That's super lame. Yeah, I won't put it up for a while. Yes, Land of Stories is an amazing series. Yeah, it's a coding issue. Yeah, I'm gonna write to them after this live. The little girl thought about it, and to the amazement of both of them, she had an answer. Twen is coming in. What's that mean? What's Twen is coming in? Twen is coming in. I don't know what that means. I've been able to communicate with lots of people in the past without frightening them, she recalled. However, I don't believe I've ever talked to someone in this palace. You mean you've traveled to other palaces? Froggy asked. Well, of course. I've traveled all over the kingdoms, haven't you? No, he said. Besides a witch's basement, the mirrors in the northern palace are all I've been able to find in this world. Well, you can travel to any mirror you like, the little girl explained. All you have to do is visualize where you want to go, and all the mirror dimensions will take you there. As simple as that. Suddenly, all of Froggy's time in the mirror dimension began to make sense. He realized that he wanted to find what he wanted to find before he started searching. The Northern Palace would have appeared much sooner if he had known it then. Knowing that all the mirrors throughout the kingdoms were available to him gave him his first rush of hope in weeks. If the Bailey twins were near a mirror, he could deliver the warning himself. He just needed to find out where they were hiding. Froggy closed his eyes, and the first location that came to mind was the castle in the Center Kingdom. He visualized the castle's hallways, the sitting rooms, the dining rooms, and the spacious library Red had built for him. You did it, the little girl cheered. Look over there. You made more mirrors appear. Froggy opened his eyes and looked where she was pointing. In the distance, amid the darkness, was a cluster of twinkling lights, as if a small patch of starry night sky had manifest. The little girl grabbed Froggy's hand and pulled him toward the light. We'll search these mirrors first, and if we don't find your friends there, we'll search every mirror in the kingdoms until we do. You don't mind helping me look for them? Froggy asked. No, not at all, the little girl said. It's been ages since I had an actual activity. By the way, I forgot to ask, what's your name? Froggy opened his mouth to respond, but nothing came out. He thought he was just experiencing mental hiccups of sorts, but his silence continued. No matter how hard he thought about it, Froggy couldn't recall his own name. I can't remember, he admitted. But that doesn't matter now. All that matters is finding my friends and warning them. The little girl shrugged and started to skip as she pulled him towards the newly materialized mirrors. Froggy was glad she was escorting him, otherwise he would have frozen in panic after forgetting his own name. Wherever the Bailey twins were, he prayed they'd find them quickly. Froggy had to warn them about the literary army while he still knew there was something to warn them about. Dun dun dun! All right, the next chapter is pretty long, and I do have not only a lot of work, but I have to go fight a violation with TikTok, apparently. I will be on later for the Q&A live, for sure. Probably in, like, the middle to late afternoon. I might pop on for a body double later. Not 100% sure. They are the worst. They are the worst. They have no sense in their head. Like, literally, there was a live where I was literally wearing a sweatshirt that said published author and talking about the book, and they were like, hey, you aren't promoting the book enough. I was like, I literally wore a sweatshirt to tell people that I wrote a book. Like, what more do you want? No, Gigi, it will be on Patreon. Dylan is saying your cup is a toy. I'm very upset about it. Oh, Dylan, sweetheart. It's not. I know it looks like a cupcake, but this is actually a cup. You can hear it. See, and it's got liquid in it. It's got, I'm trying to tilt it. You can see there's coffee in there. See? It's all good. It's not a toy. It's a real cup. I promise. My brother gave me this. Just like you have brothers, my brother gave me this. So that is the whole kit and caboodle. I'm good, Justina. How are you? Oh, Ghoul, a spicy creator. I get it. I've had... It's true. It's true. It's crazy. He did an embarrassed grind. Okay, well, at least he's over it now, right? All right, Sasha, meet Twen. Twen meets Sasha. Hello, Twen. Welcome to book club. I'm sorry that we are only discussing bots and how they do crazy things, but in case anyone is new here, I did write a book. It's called The Prince of Oregon. This is a misprinted copy, so this one's not for sale. So it now belongs here in my house because it's misprinted and doesn't have some pages. We don't know which ones. We know there's no title page. We also know 4 other pages are missing. So that's fun. Which 4 pages? Who's to say? Who's to say? If anyone else, well, no one's going to get one without, if anyone gets one without a title page from Amazon, we should email them directly. No one else is going to get one without a title page from me because I've been checking them and signing them, so I would know. Just one word from every page. Oh my God, can you imagine how confusing? Oh God, that would be awful. You guys, one of Life's Great Mysteries. I actually did one of those things that checks to see which words are like said mostly in your document or whatever like that. And other than like the basic words like and things like that, the words that are said the most in my book are Prince, Sarah Beth, and like other things like that. And I was like, you know what? That's not that bad because I think the reason that Prince is said so much is because Edward keeps introducing himself to everyone, and he introduces himself with his entire title every time because he's a dummy dumb. But anyway, so Prince is the word said the most. And since it's in the title, I guess that's fitting, right? Yeah, it does make sense. Anyway, that is the whole kit and caboodle. Yes, and Sweet Mikey does call him that as well. Yeah, and Emma's always making fun of him, going like, "Hey, Princey Pooh," you know, whatever like that. Yeah, it makes it a good thing. Thank you for the new follow, Ariel. Love your name because you know mermaids and stuff. This is music from The Little Mermaid. All right, I will see you all. It's not asparagus. I don't think asparagus is in the book at all, although that would be interesting. Eggnog is in the book, but no asparagus. All right. I'm gonna go. I will see you all later. If anybody has any questions about anything other than your restock slimes, feel free to comment on my recent video. If you have restock questions, hold tight because I should be done with those today. And what's the matter? Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were looking for something. Yes, tomorrow. Twen, if you would like to see more of book club, we should be on around 8:30 tomorrow morning, and that is when we start. Welcome to it. Oh, yeah, and since someone with a Kindle Unlimited username just came on here, I'll just let you guys know the book is available on Kindle Unlimited, and I know people are reading it on there because I can see the pages going up every day. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, my book is free to you on Kindle Unlimited. Please feel free to read it there and enjoy it. I hope you do. And then please review it on Amazon because that is how things get bumped up. All right, great. Love you guys. Mwah!